fools. This story that tells of the last days of Jesus, according to Matthew, is filled with heroes, cowards, and fools. There were cowards. There was Judas and Peter and the 11 of his followers who turned and ran. There were fools who were the ones who lied to keep their power, who would not let the truth in, who were unprepared for the truth and refused to be prepared when they had the chance. In his last days, Jesus emerges a hero. He's not a victim of other people's choices. He's leaning into his death with every step. Yes, he is scared. He knew that all this was leading to his death, and that his last clash will probably cost him his life. Even that cry that was his last gasp of abandonment, forsakenness, was not despair, but courage. Suffering and fear did not stop the Son of Man, the truly human one. Under all this pain, betrayal, spit on, mocked, struck, stripped, Jesus emerged from his wilderness a hero. Matthew's passion is full of all three. They had their share of cowards, they had their share of heroes, they had their share of fools. I cannot say with confidence that if I were in that terrible story, that I would have been a hero. I could just as easily have been Peter and Judas or the crowd or the leaders of the church and state. I could have easily been the fool. Our day is full of all three of these manifestations within each of us. Things have changed. It's the nature of wilderness, you know. It's the nature of wilderness that things change. All the time change. Some predictable, some not. How we respond to uncertainty, how we respond to the change, how we respond to our fear and our anxiety, how we respond to boredom and sickness will define us. Heroes, cowards, fools. Which are you? How will you be defined by these days? This virus is defining us every single day. This wilderness journey has brought the best out of us and the worst already. Our identity is clearer now. One day at a time, our choices are defining us. Heroes, cowards, fools. Which are you? We witness together daily the cowards and the fools, even in our own mirrors. The cowards are those who stay in bed all day, who refuse to act. The cowards will be those who sleep through all this, doing nothing to become a better person, doing nothing to become closer to anyone by whatever means, doing nothing for anyone. Quarantined is not cowardice, but hiding your gifts is. Squandering an amazing opportunity to grow yourself and this world is. Sleeping the day away is. The fools are the ones among us who risk too much, who are careless with their own lives and other people's lives. You can tell who worries more about themselves than about others. Let me be clear. Heroes are not without fear. I think we know that. Heroes are not without fear. As a matter of fact, that fear is the stuff of heroes. Those people who leave 6 feet between them and a friend, it takes courage to do that. It takes courage to leave open that space when everything in us wants to fill it with hugs or kisses or dinner parties or any way to be with somebody else. Who would have thought? Who would have ever thought that 6 feet equals love? Who would have ever thought that? That 6 feet would be the length of love? We've witnessed heroism in our medical professionals and how they are responding to all this, their courage, uncommon courage. We've witnessed it. We see it all the time on the news. We are profoundly moved by it, I suspect, and very grateful. We are witnessing how patients who are testing positive for this virus right now are responding to their sickness. They've been hit by these invisible bullets. Invisible bullets mean you can't dodge them because you don't know where they're coming from. Invisible bullets. They're dodging them. We're all trying our best to dodge them. 2 days ago, I went into a grocery store for the very first time, and I was moved by the grocery store clerks, our new heroes. Who would have thunk it before today? I've been grateful for their work as far back as I can remember. But now, heroes? They are. I'm witnessing our staff. Our staff is heroic these days here at the Catholic Student Center. We are safe as we could be, and yet they are here even right now, here doing everything they can to be there with you and for you during these dreadful days. When put to the test, they show up and they act for you. They're growing themselves too, even as this happens. Even down to Sean, who's out planting a new garden on the asphalt out back to feed us come summer and fall. And dads like Michael and Troy pulling off a full-time job in very difficult circumstances while learning how to homeschool these little ones, which is something they've never done before. And then there's our music ministry. These two who come in here every Sunday to make sure this happens for you. I've lost 10 pounds not learning how to cook. And let me add, you are responding. Responding by praying. By doing what you're doing right now. Connecting to the community, taking time to give thanks, and interceding, lifting up people you don't even know, hoping beyond hope that your prayers for the sick and those on the front lines and our leaders somehow, in the mystery of things, really work. That praying for people is the way to love them. And your donations, I got to tell you, our collections have increased over this time of virus. Have increased because you see the importance of this. And Jerry and Judy Kent giving me the surprising news in the midst of this crazy economy where so much is unpredictable, stepping up once again on their own to match your gift this Easter season. Wow. We all need to be portals. We all need to be portals for the love that is God to enter the world and move among us for the healing of the world right now. And you're doing something by just making the choice to pray right now. Let me be clear. Again, as I said, heroes are not without fear. They're not without fear at all. As we make our way through these pandemic wildernesses, wildness, our choice will be defining. In our rush to be heroic, we could do really foolish things. We could hurt others and we could hurt ourselves. We could be cowards too, cowards, and not even muster the courage to stand tall where we can and help where we should, and be an activist, even if it's from our desk at home, writing letters to governors and presidents who may be foolish in their judgments. On any given day, sometimes we can all of us, without exception, be cowards and fools and heroes. The story of Jesus' last days can give us the opportunity to look at how we are responding to what the wilderness is putting in front of us right now, and decide if we want to respond with heroic love or cowardice. Act smart or act like a fool. These days can define us. Let me conclude with a brief story about an act of what I would call heroic virtue. She would not, but I do. Nor would he, but I would. Almost a year ago now, two members of our community, Tony and Claire, they asked me to witness their wedding and begin the marriage preparation process. We got it all underway. It took over a year to prepare everything, to work through everything. And in there, Tony began to show some signs of early dementia. A diagnosis confirmed it. One afternoon, just after, I asked Claire what she was thinking about the wedding. "You don't have to do this," I said to her. She said, "Father Gary, I love Tony. I want to spend the rest of my life with him." That day when Tony stammered through his vows and Claire could barely speak through her tears, I was crying too. The biggest tears that I was able to witness this heroic love. There was not a one of us who wasn't crying. I'm telling you, circumstances define us. Circumstances are changing all the time right now. They turn cowards into heroes. Heroes and cowards and fools will come out of this. Make no mistake about it, my friends. This will be our defining moment.